Okay. Caregiving and caregivers in Nigeria is presented by Nurse Effie Omorogbe. Okay, caregiving in Nigeria. We're going to be diving right into it, talking about the various the various aspects involved in caregiving in Nigeria. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. We'll be diving into the intricacies of caregiving and the vital role that caregivers play in our society, from the challenges they face to the support systems available. And we aim to provide a comprehensive overview of this essential aspect of the Nigerian life. All right. So, before we continue, I'd like to introduce myself also again as the co-founder of Sarina Medicare. Sarina Medicare is a service provider that tends to connect caregivers to people who are in need of care, ranging from senior citizens to little children. But our focus mainly is on senior citizens based on the rising demands for caregivers in Nigeria today. All right, so caregiving in Nigeria, an overview, exploring the impacts of caregivers in Nigerian society, Nigerian communities. All right, so this is my introduction. Nigeria's population is rapidly growing and aging, with projections indicating a significant increase in the elderly population over the coming years. This demographic shift has found implications for caregiving as the demand for caregivers rises alongside the aging population. Now, due to the younger population seeking for better professional careers, seeking for better job opportunities, there's been a lot of migration from Nigeria to other um, foreign countries, and then the older population are left to be are left at home to be catered for by no one, hence the demand for the caregivers in Nigeria. This is where caregiving or caregivers come into play. So let's talk about who a caregiver is. A caregiver is an individual who provides assistance and support to individuals who are unable to fully cater for themselves due to illnesses, disabilities, or age-related limitations. So caregivers are people who provide a level of support, a level of assistance, ranging from personal care to toileting, to medications, to physiotherapy, to exercises. Caregivers provide this assistance to people, but given this um presentation, we like to focus more on the elderly population. We like to focus more on the senior citizens. So the major role of caregivers are to provide emotional support, to provide hospital care, to provide advocacy and medical and basic care. All right. So caregivers play a fundamental role in our society, providing crucial support and assistance to individuals who are unable to fully care for themselves, whether they are family members or friends or hired professionals or caregivers. They play a vital role in enhancing the quality of care for those in need. Okay, so there are some essential skills a caregiver needs to have. Given our society, given the Nigerian culture, caregiving is a little bit more sophisticated and more homely than caregiving in any other part of the world. In Nigeria, we have a culture of respect, we have a culture of care, and then we tend to be more professional, we tend to be more intentional about the kind of care that we give to the elderly ones in society, ranging from emotional support, ranging from advocating for basic facilities for the elderly ones, ranging for um, giving medical and basic care and the like. So some of the essential skills a caregiver must have is communication. You know, the elderly population tend to we won't liken them to the younger population, talking about children. So when we get older, we tend to want to behave like children, and then communication is not as easy as it would be when talking when communication is not easy as it would be when relating with someone of the same age. So caregivers need to have communication skills. You need to be patient when talking to them because they will not understand what you're saying. You have to repeat yourself over and over. Say, for example, I happen to care for an elderly person, and then you come today and you tell her something, and tomorrow you come and say the same thing, and she'll be like, ah, you did not tell me before. Ah, ma, I told you. She's forgotten about it already. So communication is a very essential skill that caregivers need to have and attention to details. Caregivers need to pay. You need to have that skill to be able to pay very keen attention to details, even the tiniest of all. The tiniest details, the basic vital signs, the drugs, the meal, pain, whatever complaints the elderly one will have. It's a skill that a caregiver has to have, paying attention to details. The caregiver has to have this emotional resilience in sense that they are not easily swayed by emotion, um, regardless of how difficult or how challenging caring from caring for the older generation, older population would be. The caregiver has to have this skill. And then the other one is knowledge of medical safety and procedures. There are some procedures that are being carried out for the